Welcome everyone to a returning What If. Now I know some of you have been patiently waiting for this, and I have to tell you something. I'm gonna have to redo the Scorpius Rex one. Don't worry. The Scorpius Rex one will be continuing soon, but with a redo. But the one I'm talking about is this fourth part to What If Deku was reborn as the Indominus Rex. Here we go. So, we start off basically where Izuku heard somebody say, "Well, guess what? I ain't killing my dad for your own pleasure." Sorry. As he hears his sister say, "Well then, guess you all have to die for that." As Izuku pokes his head around the corner, and basically watches the fight go down until he saw one of the raptors, I believe Charlie or something, I don't know, let's say Charlie, gets picked up by the Indominus Rex and thrown into a barbecue restaurant on the cooker, burning her alive. As Izuku's horrified at this, he says, "This is it. I've had enough of her. I have a plan, and this time she won't be around to see it." As Izuku turns around, and he wanders to Paddock 9. That's right. He's going to be recruiting old Rexy. As Izuku starts knocking on the door, or in this case the enclosure's gates, and saying, "Hey, old lady, get up. I need your help." As he hears a voice say, "Who you calling old lady?" As Izuku says, sorry, had to get that to your attention. I need your help. Now, there's another dinosaur, and it's causing trouble in the park. Now I know you're not there for the people. You're a dinosaur like me, but how about we help the humans this time, please?" As Rexy says, "Okay, fine. This has got to be the second time I have to help people." As she starts breaking down the door, and Izuku says, "Wait, the second time?" As finally the door comes down and old Rexy is emerging from the shadows. As Izuku has to look up towards Rexy, because let's say she's a bit bigger, about big as his sister. As Izuku says, "Blimey, you're huge." As Rexy says, "You calling me fat now? I could easily turn on you." As Izuku says, No, you're just tall, okay? It's scary." As Rexy says, "Heh, thought so. No, let's go give it hell." As Claire, Owen, and the two boys, I forgot the names of, I'm sorry. Basically, one of the boys is like saying, "Hey, we're gonna need more teeth." And then like Claire's basically saying, "How on earth are we gonna get more teeth? The only dinosaurs that are out here are Velociraptor. There's no way." Then they hear two roars. One that sounds like the Indominus Rex, and the other, the T-Rex. As they look over to see a green Indominus, smaller than the white one, and Rexy, as both of them are shocked to see this. As Owen says, well, looks like that Lady Inko actually taught it well? Question mark? As Claire's like, how did the T-Rex get out? As one of the boys say, wait, Claire, this could help us. As all the cogs start turning in her head and say, yeah, although we do need help a bit. As they ask why. As Izuku says, hey sis, remember me? Your green brother? As Indy looks at Izuku and says, well, isn't it my little brother who is pathetic as she... Oh my goodness, who is that? As Rexy comes around a corner and says, so, this is the punk you've been talking about? As Izuku says, yeah. Ready to take her down together? As Rexy says, oh boy, I haven't fought in ages. Let's get down like Donkey Kong. As Izuku says, who's a Donkey Kong? And then the fight starts. Izuku asking help from some of the raptors that were still alive. From Delta, Echo, Charlie was already dead. Izuku thought Blue was dead. And so the fight was continuing. Izuku, being one of the smartest dinosaurs alive, having the intelligence of a human. But if you forgot, no one can understand Izuku other than other dinosaurs. And besides, he can use sign language or write in the dirt with his claws in Japanese or English. Sorry. As Izuku actually bites Indy on the neck, and Indy goes, ho ho ho! Oh, you're tougher than I thought, little pea pod. But Indy impales Izuku at the back of his neck with one of her claws. Mainly the middle claw. As Indy says, but you haven't fought like I have. As Rexy comes over and bites Indy's arm, as Indy goes, ow, get off me, you overgrown sausage. Scratching Rexy on the face. As Izuku is basically, he's bleeding like hell, but nothing can stop him. As they start fighting Indy decides to use the buildings against them and start pushing Rexy and Izuku into the buildings, causing debris falling onto them and building, like, you know, metal poles, wires, glass to get stuck in them. Izuku is the one that has it the worst, because he's the one who recruited Rexy. But then as Indy goes into... Sorry. Have not been doing well. But as Indy goes in to kill Izuku, by grabbing an amber block and about to smash it against his head, she hears a raptor-like squawk. Rexy and Izuku, even Indy, look over to see Blue running over and pounce on Indy and started helping the duo. As Blue says, "You think you've done with me? Oh, hell no. This is what you get for burning Charlie." And and Blue starts clawing Indy constantly, even a bit much. Izuku and Rexy get up and start helping. As Izuku grabs Indy by the leg and flips her over, Rexy bites her hand off. Only the hand, not the entire arm. And Blue's like clawing an eye out of her. You know, Indy's eye out. And they finally push her towards the Mosasaurus lagoon. Izuku, from his perspective, he thought he ended up killing the Mosasaurus by choking it. As Indy gets back up, as the three are backing up in fear and, because they thought they defeated her. Rexy took her arm off. As Indy goes, "You think you've done with me? Oh, fools. Once I get off this island, you'll never see the light of day." And then the Mosasaurus jumps out, grabs her by the neck, and says, "About time I get you. This is what you get for choking me." Thinking that the one the Mosasaurus grabbed was Indy. No, not Indy, Izuku. As Indy says, "Wait, you got the wrong dino. Get off of... Help me. Hey, Izuku, please, sibling to sibling, help, please, help." As Izuku says, "No, you broke out and caused hell. You broke out because you are a sick, psychotic son of..." And then Rexy says, "No, just let the fish have his dinner." As Indy says, "Why you sons of..." Indy's dead, torn apart by the Mosasaurus. As Izuku, Rexy, and Blue look at each other, kind of like that Spider-Man meme, where they all point at each other, but instead of pointing, they're looking at each other, earning each other's respect. And so, Blue, Rexy, and Izuku go on their own paths. But after a few hours... Hold on, guys. I gotta get my drink of water. Stay hydrated. As Izuku took on one long walk, he ended up in a weird place. It resembled a cargo hold, but with a train or monorail thing for a road. And he hears multiple people, too far away to recognize, but one is close enough to recognize. Well, not really recognize. It's someone new. As the voice says, "Where are those little brats? First they sneak into my home, then damage my nose, and now they play chicken. Where are they?" As Izuku decides to use his indominus abilities and camouflage with the dark. And he sees a Carnotaurus looking around. And then he sees the campers. As Izuku realize something. The Carnotaurus is gonna get him. And Izuku counted them. Ben was missing. And Bumpy. As Izuku kinda connected the dots, and he thought that this Carnotaurus ate them. As Izuku was furious at this Carnotaurus, and he uses his thought process, thinks, first cheese, then Ben, now Bumpy. Oh boy, I'm losing my sanity here. That's it. As he uncloaks and starts charging, roaring at the Carnotaurus. As the Carnotaurus say, hey, wait a minute. You're not that indominus that helped me. As Izuku lifts up the Carnotaurus by the neck and says, what have you done to the boy and the ankylosaurus, you son of a... And then Izuku gets kicked in the face. As the Carnotaurus say, I don't know what you're talking about. I only found these people. I haven't even touched any ankylosaur person in a week. Just get off, please. As Darius sets the trap at the end of the episode. You know, the trap that burns Toro. As Izuku froze Toro against the wall, Toro notices Darius holding up a gel-covered electro stick. I'm calling that. Why? Because I can. The electro stick, and then causes a big boom. Toro gets the most of it. Izuku gets slightly burnt. As the smoke clears, Darius could see, along with the campers, Toro leaving more scars around his neck. As they see a silhouette, as they get nervous until Izuku wipes away the smoke. You know how you smell something nasty and try to blow it away. Yeah. As Izuku basically in dinosaur language said, so, miss me? As the campers say, oh my goodness, guys, it's Izuku! As Darius, Kenji, Sammy, and Mina go over to Izuku and hug him. Only at the ankles because Izuku's too damn tall. As Yasmina says, well, maybe I was wrong about Izuku. Oh, what the heck. As she goes into the hug as well, as Izuku basically tries to write in dinosaur language on the wall saying, hey guys, you do know that there's a hole in the wall, right? Making an arrow, emphasizing it. As the campers go in through first and Izuku crashing through the wall, they make it to the dock and the boat's not there. Izuku is almost heartbroken. His mother left. The campers upset, but Izuku feels heartbroken. Back on the boat, Inko is trying to, the ferryman to order to turn around and let Inko go back to the island because quote-unquote important research is there. But in reality, she wants to take Izuku along because I don't know why, but she doesn't know why, but she feels like there's a deep connection with her and this dinosaur. As the campers, as Darius basically says the whole speech about not giving up and, same thing, as Izuku basically writes on the ground, what happened to Ben and Bumpy? As Ben said, Izuku, Ben got attacked by pteranodons and we don't know what happened. And Kenji says, and I think I lost Bumpy when we jumped out of the monorail. As Izuku says, yells out, dinosaur language, you jumped out of a moving train? And it only comes out in a loud roar. As the campers are like, whoa, easy, Izuku. Careful now. You look like you have been in a fight. What happened? As Izuku writes in the ground, we'll talk about that later. First, we gotta get shelter. As they set off. Now, this is the end, everyone. Make sure to like and subscribe. Or not. You can choose not to. Anyway, make sure you have a good day. Stay hydrated. And see you soon. Bye.